I wanted to go over how I'm going to edit this image. It's a nice image already. I've cleaned up the background a little bit. I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. But what I really wanted to show you was how I'm going to edit around her body and her face. So the first thing that I do with most women is a little tiny bit of Liquify. Not a lot, because I don't really want to change their bodies too much, but what I do want to do is just help them out a little bit. Especially on backs, I usually push them in just a little tiny bit. Make sure that you have a nice clean back line. Like this. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure their arms are just a tiny bit thinner. Most women hate their arms. And just do tiny little adjustments. You don't want to go crazy. You want to make sure that her arm is smooth and that everything looks right. Just like that. Her bust line is a little inconsistent. I like to smooth out those things just so they're less distracting. The other thing that I like to do is give women a little bit of body in their hair. Just a little bit. Just like that. One thing you can do is bring in right here. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends on the woman and her body, but I just like to make sure that there's a really nice, beautiful definition of her bump. The last thing I'm going to do is her neckline. And I'm just going to tuck it up just a little bit. Again, not a lot. I might even bring this down just to balance out her chin. Okay, so I went from this to this. Just a tiny little adjustment. The next thing I'm going to do is work on her face. And I like to run an action. It has dodge and burn all in the same group. I can show you how to create one. If you'd like to create one at the Refine workshop in April, I can show you how to create your own dodge and burn action. These ones are under Pratik, but I've actually created my own right up here, same thing. But what I'm going to do is dodge her face, and I'm going to turn the opacity way down to about 20, same thing with the flow, and then the dark lines under her eyes, I am going to then just slowly get rid of. Don't get rid of her lower lid, but do get rid of any bags. Just a little tiny. Now you could go through here and like really go crazy on her skin. I don't really like to do that, but you could. One thing that I will do though is right here, this line right here. I'm going to try to get rid of because it's bothering me. So I'm going to put this way down. I'm going to dodge the dark part of it. And I'm going to burn this part of it. There are a million ways to do this, exact same thing. This is just one way to do it. In fact, it's still not even quite there. When I can, this is how I like to do it. A quick and easy way would be the patch tool. I could easily come in and just take this area and patch it out. I don't want to do that. I'm going to put the color fill layer back on just because it's easier working in black and whites rather than looking at the colors. And I'm going to darken this highlight under her chin, which is emphasizing her double chin. So again, come over to here and just darken up that chin. I can actually smooth out her jawline just a little bit here. Like that. Okay. Little tiny adjustments. Do you see how just burning this area right underneath there makes a huge difference? I could probably fix it just a little bit right through here. And actually what I might do is flatten it and then run curves again, take my shadow and just get this area one more time. Yeah. There you go. So I'm going to clean up the background just a little bit over and around here, but that's how I would edit her body here. Let me show you really quick a before and after. So revert. Oh, I did crop a little bit. Here is before, after. Before, after. Slight little changes, but they keep her essentially how she is. And I would call that one pretty good. I'll finish cleaning that up and put on a little bit of artistic gradient and coloring and be done.